Hi, now I know we're not supposed to be able to calculate the day or the hour, but I'm going to try and do that now because I'm fascinated by this Feast of Trumpets. So, we know the Feast of Trumpets, Rosh Hashanah, will begin at sundown on September the 22nd and end at sundown on September the 24th. Now we need to find out when is sundown in Israel on those days. So this website shows you sunset times for all the days in August, September, whatever. So we're going to scroll down. It's the second column under sunset. We're going to look at those 3 days. So Monday the 22nd, sunset is 6:37. Tuesday the 23rd, 6:35. And Wednesday the 24th, it's 6:34 p.m. Just to reiterate, when is sundown in Israel in September? On Monday, it's the 22nd, it would be 6:37. Tuesday, September 23rd, it would be 6:35. And Wednesday, September 24th, it will be 6:34. This is just a couple of minutes difference. In case you couldn't read that, I'm repeating it on this screen. In case you couldn't read that, I'm repeating it on this screen. Now we need to ask ourselves, when is the last trump? So, on the Feast of Trumpets, traditionally, 100 blasts of the shofar would be sounded, with the last being the Tekiah Gedola, forgive my pronunciation, a specific long blast. Now we know from scripture that we're looking for the last trump. Anyway, so now we're going to move on to something else, which is time zones across the world. Okay, so I live in the UK. That's this middle line here, where it says 12, the purple line. So 12 here means 12 lunchtime, 12 p.m. Yeah. And then these countries to the right are all ahead of us in the UK. So, for example, Israel is 2 hours ahead. It's this orange line. And you've got, I have friends in Pakistan, so I'll mention them. The green line, they are 4 hours ahead of us. And you've got Sri Lanka, India, all different countries, going to Australia. So all these countries are ahead of us. Now, from my research I did previously, I think Tonga is actually 13 hours ahead of us somehow, but it doesn't even show it on the map, so I'm not sure about that. But anyway, you can get the idea that there are countries up to 12 or even 13 hours ahead, and then to the left, these countries are all behind me, for example, in the UK. Yeah. So, for example, Alaska, if we say that's the orange one, if it's 12 lunchtime in the UK, it's 2 o'clock in the morning in Alaska. Okay, so they are 10 hours. Yeah, I think so. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, 10 hours behind me in the UK. Why is this important? This is important because the Feast of Trumpets, according to Joshua's video, will be the 23rd and the 24th. And that makes perfect sense, because if it's the 23rd in, say, Alaska, another country might be the 24th, because we're all in different time zones. So, according to Joshua, it is the 23rd and 24th of September, not the 22nd, which is actually when the feast begins. It's the start of the time period for the feast. It will be spread over 24 different time zones, which is why it has to be over 2 days. So let's have a look. If the feast starts on the 22nd at sunset, which we saw was 6:35 p.m., it will end on the 23rd at sunset, 6:35, the next day. However, if the feast starts on the 23rd at sunset, it will end on the 24th at sunset. One of these is not possible. Can you see which one and why? Let's go back to the map. If in Israel, which is the orange line here, it is 6:35, or roughly sunset time, there are still another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, possibly 11 time zones ahead of it. So if you add on 10 or 11 to 6:35, what do you get? Well, basically, if this is the 24th of September and it's 6:30 p.m., after 6 hours, you're going to be into the 25th. I hope this is making sense. This one cannot be correct. It cannot start on the 23rd because we'll end up going into the 25th for some countries which are ahead of Israel. Therefore, the feast, by my reckoning, and I could be completely mad, the feast starts on the 22nd at sunset, 6:35, and it will end on the 23rd at sunset. So, what time is it in your country, 23rd or 24th? Like I said, 4:35 in the UK. I'm going to mention Pakistan here because I have friends in Pakistan who will watch this video, and they are 4 hours ahead of us in the UK. So if the rapture is on the 23rd of September in the UK, in Pakistan, it will be 8:35 p.m. That's they are 4 hours ahead of the UK. Let me know what you think about my calculations. I've been meaning to put this video out for a couple of weeks. It was the first thing I thought about was the time zones. And have I cracked it? Have I missed something? Let me know. Thank you.